Question number 6 from page 229 worksheet. It gives us the graph of a continuous function and satisfies all the conditions. So condition A was that f of 0 and f of 3 equals 0. So that's a coordinate. So I plotted the coordinate in blue along the x-axis. Those are my zeros. It's also given me f of negative 1 and f of 1 is equal to negative 2. So I plotted those in green. Okay, at negative 1, negative 2, and 1, negative 2. For B, it says f prime of negative 1 and positive 1 is equal to 0. Well, what that means then is that we have a change, we have a 0 slope at those coordinates. So that must mean it's either local min or local max at those 2 points. So those are horizontal tangents there. And so I put them on my slope chart here, and I can figure out what the slopes are based on C. So in C, it tells me f prime of x is less than 0. And so all the yellow gives me the negative slope intervals. So less than negative 1. So less than negative 1, I'm going to have negative slope. So it's going down like this. And at between 0 and 1, so in this region here, it's sloping down as well. And I think I'm going to do my horizontal slopes in red here. Okay, so those are my negative slopes. In green, I have f prime of x is bigger than 0, and the intervals are going to be from negative 1 to negative 1 to 0. So in this region here, I know I have a positive slope that's going up. There's a change in direction at 0. So there's an important piece here. There's a change in slope at 0. Although we don't have a 0 slope, we know it changes direction. So that must be an undefined point. Okay, because it changes slope, but it doesn't change smoothly across that point. And then lastly, for x is greater than 1, it's sloping up. So that change of slope at 0 is important to recognize, because now we can sketch in this graph. So this graph, we know that's going to go through, it's going to have a 0 at 1, 0 and 3. So we know that it can't cross x-axis, but it is sloping down like that. So we know it has to be an asymptote here because it cannot cross x-axis because the blue dots are the only zeros we have. That is a local minimum. It's going to go through here, but it's going to change direction. I better draw that a little bit better. So it's going to come through here, but it's going to change direction. So it must be one of these kinks. So it's going to change direction. There's my change of slope at 0. I've got a minimum point here because again, that's a slope of 0. It's going to curve up through that point and look like this. So this is what my continuous graph is going to look like given those parameters.